Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am back with episode 2 of the Ugly Polyester Quilt. And I gotta tell you, it's living up to its name. I am so not liking this quilt. However, that was pretty much the whole purpose of this video, was to show you that you can still make something useful out of polyester that you're not thrilled with. Not necessarily the fact that it's polyester, but in my case, I just don't like these fabrics together. And my fabrics are satiny, which are very hard to work with. And again, I chose them just to show that you can make something out of difficult fabric. If you want to get caught up with this dreadful series, there is a playlist link down below in the description and also in the pinned comment and on the end screen. So the last time I left you, I had just started putting the top together, and I said I would finish it off camera, and I did. So you can see that I did not use as many strips as I thought, and there's a lot of black, which I don't really care for. I don't really care for any of this, but we're going forward with it. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to flip it over, and you can see my foundation that I was working on. But what I'm going to do now is, before I trim this, I'm just going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to just follow my foundation and sew like about 1/4 of an inch in all the way around, and then I will trim. Am I concerned that my foundation is perfectly square? Absolutely not. It's already ugly, so it can also be crooked. All right, I'm just going to start wherever I feel like starting, and on the side edges, this whole flap is loose from the bottom part because that panel was just added and not stitched down. So I'm just going to make sure as I sew that everything's laying nice and flat, and just go. You don't realize it, but I took off for a little while. I even put outdoor clothes on. Went out with my friend Sandy Pro. Hi, Sandy. Now I'm back to my indoor clothes. And I don't know about the setting. The lighting has changed. But here's what we're going to do now. All I'm going to do is trim all around this. I'm not concerned with this being completely squared up. I'm just going to trim around it. And this is where I was saying you can always use the foundation as the backing. Actually, don't mind that. But I think we'll go ahead and back it, just because I'm a sucker for punishment. Really hideous. I mean, this is hideous. I like this side better. But it certainly is drapey. But we're going to go ahead and put that horrible stretch knit backing on it, just to add to the ugliness of it all. Let me think for a minute. Here is what I'm going to do. I would love to do my just sew right sides together and turn it method, but I have done that a couple times already. So this time I'm just laying this stretch striped fabric with the right side down, and I'm putting this one on top of it, and I'm just going to pin around just to hold it in place a bit. Then when it's all pinned all the way around, I'm going to go around and trim it, but I'll come back when I get to the trimming part. I pinned all the way around, and now I'm just going to cut around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be folding the fabric over onto the quilt as the binding instead of having a border around it. And I won't even be doing it the proper way. I'm going to show you how to do everything wrong and ugly today. I'm just going to cut all the way around. Okay, I'm going to the sewing machine. I want to not hurt myself with the pins. So I have to be aware of the pins. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to fold this and fold it again. And I'm going to just stitch all the way down. Then I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm just going to do my poor man's lazy way kind of edge and, you know, fold in the other direction. And I don't give a shit that it's like this and not mitered. And I'm just eyeballing it. See, it's got some colors that go with this. Kind of like that a little bit. And I have black thread. I thought it would be appropriate with the black stripes. Dangerous pins. Oh, this is awful. Because I have the stretchy fabric. I could not have picked a more horrid project to work on. Seriously. Alright, that's so bunched up. I gotta back up a little bit. Walking foot would come in handy. And I do have one. I can imagine. This is the world's worst tutorial. Okay, let's see. No, this is not gonna cut it. And I'm not willing to work this hard at all. So I'm taking this apart. And then we're gonna do my right sides together and then turn right side out method that I so love. Okay, so I seam ripped all that out. Now I have to take out all those pins that I so lovingly put in here because I have to turn the fabric now. This is going to be so slippery, but it's going to be better than what I was trying to do. So I'm just going to put these right sides together as best as I can. And this is wrong. I want this way. And I am going to pin a little bit. Okay, I pinned all the way around. I have no clue if these stripes are going to come out straight or not or whatever. I am just going to go to the machine. I'm going to leave a space, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches wide so that I can turn this. So I'll just start here. I'm just going to sew all the way around. And I'm actually going to do that off camera. I'm just going to follow the foundation and just sew all the way around, leaving an opening. I guess I can turn the camera on. I just sewed just a little tiny bit. This is already like way better. I'm going to turn at my corner and be careful of my pins hurting me. Now at this point I'm always very careful because there could be pins still left in this. See? Here's one of those suckers right there. Okay, let's go trim. Now I'm just going to trim all the way around, again close to the foundation. I'm not concerning myself with my corners. I'm just going to turn this. And what I mean, I'm not concerning myself, meaning I just wasn't trimming the corners. I very rarely do that. I just push them through. I did a pretty good job. Certainly not perfect, but pretty good. Now all I have left to do is I'm going to tuck this in the opening and I'm going to just top stitch it closed. And I like to go and top stitch all the way around the entire edge just to hold the two layers together on the sides. And I will not turn the camera on for that one. This sucker is done. Once again, I was thinking of doing some quilting, but I hate the looks of quilt lines. I just don't like it, and I don't want any lines of thread on the back. I just don't like the looks of quilting. So I'm just leaving it as is. This is actually so awesome. The feel of it, now that it's, you know, done and I'm not having to deal with pinning it and sewing it, that is a pain. Highly do not suggest that you attempt this. Again, it was just to show you that you can take whatever fabric you have and make something out of it. This is, though, a very nice, usable blanket. So just to show you, I just went all the way around. I just didn't want the camera on the table with me. This thing is so slinky. and it just wanted to keep sliding, and this is actually going to be it for the ugly quilt tutorial. Let me know how ugly you think it is. I'm sure many of you are going to have a lot of suggestions as to what I should have done differently. Go for it. Just go for it. I did discover that ugly quilt is actually a searchable term on YouTube, so I'm glad I tapped into it. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on any other ugly stuff, or pretty stuff too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye!